Sup guys? With the recent release of not one, but two ultra rare units in Lion and Trafalgar, I'm sure everyone is waiting for a showcase of what they're capable of at their max potential. Instead, today I'll be showcasing the greatness of the most powerful glowworm that you will ever witness in your life. Here is something that nobody has ever asked. Can Glowworm main tank and potentially even sneak in a cheeky MVP in 15.4? And we're going to be answering that in this video with, as previously mentioned, the most powerful Glowworm you'll ever see. You can probably count the number of level 125 200 affection Glowworms in one hand, and that number is reduced to one finger when you factor in max fleet tech, missing only a single point in evasion, accuracy, and anti-air from Trafalgar, Gallant, and Calc's max level bonuses. On top of that, I've got here the two most legendary of Destroyer Meowficers, running the double flame, double torpedo soul, 1 destiny, and a total of 90 torpedo stat for destroyers. If someone can show me a glowworm stronger than this one, I would be truly impressed. Now, in the rest of the fleet, I am using Janus for anti-submarine. No particular reason really. Her buff doesn't even work for glowworm, I just really like Janus. Then, to carry the anti-air of the fleet, Provincian, who, fun fact, has the strongest solo anti-air in the game when using 2 plus 13 76mm, if we exclude the fleet-wide anti-air buffs you get from, say, San Diego. In the back, although it doesn't really matter since we're just here to see Glowworm, I'm using Zuiho and Volga, whose healing for the Vanguard scales off their own HP, and will be more effective to keep Glowworm alive with her abysmal 1.6k base HP, on top of using no defensive auxiliaries whatsoever. In the flagship, I'm using Kazan because I have yet to give her a try, but I won't be looking at her performance much of it all since this is mostly going to be a Glowworm showcase. As for the boss fleet and support fleet, it doesn't matter. Now I'm a little curious to see if she can actually get MVP, but she's gonna have to really earn it because I'm not particularly funneling her damage with ships like Shinano and Aurora. Now, the idea, on paper at least, is that every 20 seconds when she charges into an enemy, the minus 3 second cooldown to torpedoes will make sure her torpedoes are fired off once she's right on top of the enemy. So, while she doesn't have the strongest torpedoes, she's pretty much the only ship who can guarantee a full hit of pretty much whatever torpedoes she's using every single time on auto, with the catch that the cooldown does need to be slightly over 20 seconds and under 23. Actually, being too close to 23 might not work either, just because of the preload at the beginning firing 3 seconds after the clock starts ticking. In any case, this should give her a good shot at one-shotting whatever she charges into, and proc the 10% heal quite frequently. Since she gets so close up into the enemy though, in hindsight maybe I shouldn't even have used magnetic torpedoes, and instead used the stronger HMS straight torpedoes, or maybe the quintuple 610 instead. Anyway, it looks like she's surviving just fine as the main tank, despite the 1.6k base HP, which I think speaks volumes to how much the healing from Provincian and Kazan are contributing. And I'm leaving out Volga and Zuiho because that's pretty standard even for regular fleets that have an actual tank to run a primary and secondary healer, so if it weren't for Provincian and Kazan, I doubt Glowworm would be able to survive in this environment. But Jimmy, you're doing this on save! This is literally the freest stage ever and doesn't count! Thank you for the input. Unfortunately, it does appear that MVP is a little bit out of reach for our hero here, but let's be honest, we know that the result screen lies all the time and that she's the real MVP. Now, the people are probably wondering, can you one-shot the current meta fight using Glowworm in the fleet without relying on some kind of cheesy RNG strat? And the answer is yes. Here, we can see the proof in the pudding. With a 30% bonus to auxiliary stats and 2 Oxytorps, she manages to get a total of over 800 torpedo stats. This isn't exactly the second coming of Shimakaze or anything, but it's nothing to scoff at, especially when she can guarantee a full face torp every single time. This time, I made sure to use even more powerful torpedoes. As you can see, the quintuple 610 clocks in at a cooldown of just over 21 seconds, so every time she charges into the enemy and reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds, it's instantly readied. Fortunately, the -3 second reduction doesn't carry over to the cooldown of the next salvo, so it never desyncs in that way. In the end, she registered almost 100k damage, including her AA contribution. Some people are going to see this and say, "But Jimmy, you could replace Glowworm with just about any ship and it will work." Go ahead and do it then. Nobody is stopping you. Have some creativity and give your other ships a try instead of using the same thing day in and day out. Okay, now that you've seen Glowworm absolutely tear it up in both Meta Showdown and 15.4, you might be wondering, is Glowworm actually underrated? Absolutely not. The only thing she offers over other ships is this skin and its cute little facial expressions. Otherwise, she's still just a mediocre Vanguard ship by SSR standards. The main takeaway here is that you don't always have to use what's good. If there's a ship you like for whatever reason, be it their character design, or there's some part of their kit that looks fun to you, go and see if you can make it work. In some other games, if you don't have the best unit for every single thing, it can result in more turns taken, more time spent, and maybe even less rewards. But in Azur lane, whether you're using Z52 or Glowworm, all you gotta do is hit sortie and it'll sort itself out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little showcase. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.